Does anyone else have a plan to get us out of debt? Are we going to start a lemonade stand out here in Times Square? No, how about the best performing asset in the history of mankind? We lean into it, we buy it.
Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a good day. Today we are listening to the Strike CEO talk about Bitcoin post-election. He has some very good insights here, and to me, what he's talking about is why Bitcoin will eventually hit $1 million.
The day post-election, the Wednesday post-election, our business doubled. We saw 100% growth in Bitcoin purchases. Our customers are predominantly purchasing Bitcoin, and over 90% since election are actually taking the Bitcoin off the platform and holding it in their own custody. So we're not seeing active speculative trading on gambling on the short-term price. We're seeing long-term accumulation on our platform, and our customers are excited. We serve Bitcoiners, and Bitcoiners are excited right now.
Okay, so you're maybe supporting those that are focused purely on the ecosystem, but people are going elsewhere to trade, whether it's gambling or not. We now got options trading on the Bitcoin spot ETFs. What do you think of that? What do you make of this transition from, well, DeFi and crypto into more traditional finance?
Well, the last time I was on this show, I told you and Ed, which, Ed, congrats, by the way, I'm thinking of you. I told you guys I thought Bitcoin was the only money in crypto. I wasn't sold on any of the other cryptocurrencies, and that my business, we're predicated on Bitcoin as money, and we sell our customers financial services. So if you're a customer of mine, you want Bitcoin financial services, you want to buy it, you want to store it, you want to move it, you want to pay your bills with it, you maybe want a loan against it. These are the type of products that we want to serve our customers in the future. We do not think of ourselves as a speculative exchange, so that's my customer base.
Now, do you guys understand what he was talking about? With his specific platform, a lot of people are buying Bitcoin and then putting it into their private wallets and just letting it sit. But eventually, here's what he hopes to do, and I think you're already starting to see this happen across the ecosystem. If you go back to traditional stocks and investments, you may see somebody like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. What they can do is, because they have so many stocks and shares of a company, instead of having to sell those, pay the capital gains tax, and then use that money for investments, they can actually just take out a loan using those investments and then pretty much not have to sell anything. People want to be able to do that with Bitcoin as well. I want to be able to own 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin, but I don't want to have to sell the Bitcoin in order to spend that money. I just want to take a loan out saying, hey, I can pay you back. If I can't pay you back, I have this Bitcoin right here. And then what that allows me to do is keep the Bitcoin in myself, my storage, and then I have capital to go spend and do stuff with as I will. That's the way we're moving. And now hopefully that'll really get a lot of the old school institutional investors to pour even more money in Bitcoin, which will of course help us get on that path to $1 million.
Options, ETFs, MSTR, all of these things are pro-liquidity for Bitcoin. What you want in a money or a store of value is you want it to be saleable. You want it to be liquid at any point, 24/7, 365, globally. You want to be able to sell it. And so all of this is pro-liquidity, which enhances the profile for Bitcoin to be a better asset for a government, a corporation, an individual. So everything is bullish for Bitcoin. That's what I always say. So another day, more bullish activity for the asset.
Okay, convince me of why, for this liquidity, for this vision, for the future of money, you need a strategic Bitcoin reserve, because I know that's what you've been speaking with Cynthia Loomis about. Sorry, we're having infrastructure issues today.
Not your fault, not your fault. Here, I think the unique positioning on the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, I think if this happens, this will be one of the most important economic announcements in U.S. history. I think it'd be on par with 1971 and Nixon. However, what I think is not being talked about enough is it's positive, Caroline. It's positive.
Because you'd have to go out there and buy in the market, but will that actually happen?
No, my meaning is this. In 1933, the U.S. had a really big economic announcement. What was it? We're taking all your gold. In 1971, the U.S. had a really big economic announcement. What was it? We're divorcing ourselves from the gold standard so we can print money. In 2008, the U.S. had a really big economic announcement. What was it? It was we're bailing out all the big banks that misbehaved. In 2025, if the U.S. has a really big economic announcement, what is it? It's we're pro-technology, we're pro-innovation. What principles and morals and ethical alignment does Bitcoin have? Equal rights, equal opportunity, an open network. These are American ideals, American values. This is an asset that was accessible to the people 15 years ago that the people own. Governments only own 2, 3, 4% of this asset. This asset is held by the people. It acts in the best interest of the public. It's pro-jobs, it's pro-energy, it's pro-industry, it's pro-growth.
Now, I think this is very, very important. Every now and again, the country comes out with a big announcement, some new technology, some new path forward. But usually we have to wait a little bit for this. We've been in the beginning stages of this process with cryptocurrency, buying Bitcoin at 10,000, 15,000, 25,000, 60,000 even dollars, right? But we haven't seen the country accept Bitcoin and start to push for its advancement yet. And that's exactly what we're starting to do right now. Now, we've had to wait for Trump. Trump didn't like Bitcoin in the past. He didn't like cryptocurrency in the past. But now, because of the votes, he is more accepting of it. And he realizes there's tons of jobs to be had and tons of tax revenue, which is why I think he personally likes it. But that's fine. As long as the country is now saying from the government saying, hey, we approve and accept cryptocurrency. We want to help it flourish in the United States. That's where things get even more crazy. And the fact that we're going to have the government come in here finally and say, hey, we're sorry. They're not going to apologize. But, we know we might have made some mistakes in the past by going after XRP, going after Robinhood, going after Coinbase, sending all these Wells notices, kicking people out of the country. You know what I'm talking about. It's time that they finally come around to our point of view, even if it's just more of our view with a little bit more corporate twist. We're going to be fine. It's fine. But the fact that they're going to be helping us instead of trying to hurt us is going to be massive for everything in our field. And I'm not just talking about Bitcoin. Ethereum is going to benefit. Solana is going to benefit. XRP is going to benefit. And of course, even Dogecoin with the Department of Government Efficiency. All of these things are starting to get more hyped up because now there's not going to be those regulatory headwinds there that are just going to try to keep us in place. We're going to be able to move forward with the help of the American government. And if everybody copies the American government, it'll be worldwide.
Does anyone else have a plan to get us out of debt? Are we going to start a lemonade stand out here in Times Square? No, how about the best performing asset in the history of mankind? We lean into it, we buy it. Coinbase is an American company, Strike's an American company, Kraken's an American company, Tether sells the US dollar. Let's support these businesses, let's support this industry.
But the market cap is less than Nvidia for the entire crypto ecosystem. When does that become bigger?
I think when people buy it, listen, I think that ego gets in the way of many people. People think they're late to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, right? I think that late according to who? Oh, because you're comparing yourself to Michael Saylor, you're comparing yourself to your college roommate, you're comparing yourself to your coworker. Over the last 15 years, the best thing you could have done is buy Bitcoin. And I think that's going to be true for the next 1,500 years. And so as a country, I think we have a choice. I think everyone else around the world is understanding we are pro-growth, pro-business, pro-Bitcoin as this new administration takes office. And we have to make a decision. I think the worst thing we can do is not own enough. And actually, to de-risk this, we should buy some and push these American ideals in technology and innovation and growth through the best performing asset and technology in mankind.
Now, the Strike CEO Mullers did something really special here. He tried to frame this in a way that both Republicans and Democrats would actually enjoy what he's trying to sell. And let me frame it to you this way. For the Republicans starting off, he's like, hey, more jobs, more revenue. This can help out with our debt ceiling crisis or our debt crisis, which we have a very bad one in this country. On the other side here for Democrats, is here at the end, we have all of these American values. Let's push these values on other countries. And that's definitely something that America likes to do. We like to tell the countries what to do. You do this certain thing, right? And I think this is something that over time, you're going to see both Democrats and Republicans come together and they're going to make some type of agreement. It's not going to be a pure Republican agreement. It's not going to be a pure Democratic agreement, but it will be more heavily on the Republican side. It won't be full Republican because I know some Democrats will cross over, but what it's going to most likely happen here, it's going to be more jobs, more Bitcoin being mined, the government owning more Bitcoin, the government having more control over Bitcoin as far as how the rest of the world is able to handle it. And then for all of us, we have a little bit less regulation. That way we can still trade on all of our favorite exchanges. You guys know right now that if you have a favorite exchange, whether it be like a Weeks or anything like that, or BYDFi or something from around, well, in a few months, they can be kicked out of the country. I used to trade on Binance, then I used to trade on KuCoin, then I used to trade on BitGet, and it kept on going down, 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 down. And all of those exchanges, I would love to have access to them, and I know a lot of you guys would as well. So the more we see this happen, the more I hope that you guys will have profits with trading, holding Bitcoin, and you could put that Bitcoin into a special account where nobody else could touch it but you, of course. And then you could say, hey, I don't want to sell my 1 Bitcoin. I don't want to sell my 2 Bitcoin or whatever it is, but can I take out a loan against this Bitcoin? And they will say, yes, now you have access to capital, which you can use to reinvest in any way you see fit. Maybe an opportunity zone in your local community, build a couple duplexes, then rent them out, right? There's a bunch of stuff you guys could do, but it's really important that this movement continues. And this is where I was talking about America having our back again as far as the crypto community. You can be a Democrat and Republican, I don't care. But you have to admit, during this election cycle, Republicans really embraced the crypto community. They kind of copied RFK. And then once RFK kind of made a little bit of foothold, they're like, hey, we can do this too. Trump absorbed all of that. He absorbed RFK, of course. And that's really where crypto started getting really hyped up again. And now we have all these new things happening. Gary Gensler is going to be out. It seems that we may have lower rates coming soon, which is going to be a big boom for the rest of the market here. And as Bitcoin continues to get hyped up, as long as the market keeps on going up towards altcoin season, you guys are going to have a lot of profit at the end of the cycle. If you just were doing buying and holding, dollar cost averaging, you guys are going to have a lot of profit. But are you guys going to try to sell it, move it back into your bank account and pay taxes on it? Or are you guys going to try to hold it in Bitcoin for a while, or it's maybe even Tether, and still have an opportunity to take loans out against that? We're going to be in such a cool spot over the next few years, guys. It's just going to be great. But we definitely have to take our time with this one. And remember, dollar cost averaging these assets is the easiest way to do it. If you guys don't want a dollar cost average, just buy when Bitcoin's underneath the 100 or 150 weekly moving averages. That's the only other time I'd say buy Bitcoin in bulk. Every other time I see Michael say, I'm like, I get what you're doing, but man, it'd be nice if you guys could sell at the top and make some like real good profit, but I know they're holding for the long term. Everybody else, buy underneath the 100 weekly moving average or the 150 weekly moving average if you want to play a little bit more dangerous, right? But anyway, hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you like these videos, please make sure to give the video a subscribe and consider watching it twice so the YouTube algorithm knows you guys are here. Thanks.